welcome to Tee Off Southwest Florida. I'm your host, Dale Schwegel. Now, it's no secret that we have some of the best golf experiences in the world right here in Southwest Florida. But it's also no surprise to find out that we have one of the world's top golf academies right here in our own backyard. The prestigious David Leadbetter Golf Academies in the beautiful Laplaya Beach and Golf Resort in Naples, Florida. And we're joined today by a man known to many as the father of the modern golf swing, David Leadbetter. David, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Dale. Pleasure to be here.
David, we're here celebrating the 25th anniversary of the David Leadbetter Golf Academies, and it kind of reminds me of some of the players from the past that you've taught over the years, like Ernie Els, Nick Faldo, of course, Greg Norman, and some of the new players such as Michelle Wie, and of course the 2008 Masters champion, Trevor Immelman. What's been your recipe for success over the years?
Well, I think really, I mean, originally I started off as a player, and a failed tour player, should we say, and probably somebody who was a little too much into the swing, which certainly helped me with my instruction. And I think more than anything else, it's the art of communication. I mean, so many players that I've worked with have been such different personalities. So you cannot really teach everybody the same way. Obviously, the fundamentals are the fundamentals, but yeah, being able to get that message across, which is what it's all about, really, no matter what level of play you're teaching. So I guess if I have any sort of success recipe, yes, having some knowledge about what goes on in the golf swing, certainly, but I think being able to communicate it in different ways to different people.
Now, it has to be incredibly challenging, like you said, with so many different players that you're teaching. Tell me something, when you're looking at a tournament like the Masters Championship, and if you've got so many of your past students involved, how do you choose which one to root for at the time?
Well, that's always the question that's been asked of me through the years, and it's really, the thing is, golf is really an individual sport, I should say. If it was a match play situation week in, week out, like tennis, where one-on-one, I always remember the great tennis coach who we're involved with up at Bradenton Academy, Nick Bollettieri. I think he had Andre Agassi and Jim Courier in the final, and he coached both of them. And there was a little bit of niggle about who he would support. But in golf, I mean, the fact is, it's really you against the golf course, you against the elements, and there isn't that sort of level of I suppose, for want of a better term, jealousy amongst players. And the thought that I always use anyway when players that ask me, well, how is it if you're working with these other players? I mean, my greatest knowledge has been found by working with these players, being able to see what works, what doesn't work, see if I can use this philosophy, and the feedback you get from these players. I mean, hey, they're really they're my teachers.
I was going to say, they probably, each individual situation probably lends to teaching you a thing or two at a time.
Oh, absolutely. We're continually learning, and that's the fascination about the sport. You'd think something which has been around for as long as golf's been around, the objective is still to get that little white ball into the hole, and it was 200 years ago, and it is now. And so, but in many ways, things have stayed the same. Sure, equipment's changed, players have changed, a lot of things have changed, but the fact it's still that basic fact. Okay, how do we get the club into motion? How do we propel the ball from A to B in as few shots as possible?
Now, having said that, your swing philosophy has stood the test of time, even though the game of golf has changed over the years. How have you been able to keep up with it that way? Well,
it's adapted. I mean, listen, equipment's changed a lot. I mean, being involved with Callaway to such a great extent. I mean, looking at their R&D, and you just see what goes into equipment these days. And you're finding these young players now, the difference is their mentality is so different because of the consistency of golf clubs and the consistency of golf balls. These young players are using the athleticism to hit the ball. In the old days, I mean, obviously, you look at Jack Nicklaus and players before him,
right.
Ben Hogan, Bobby Jones, etc. Yes, they were great athletes, but you're seeing now there's all the players are good athletes, and they're all able to sort of make a move in order to hit the ball solidly. And so the athleticism is such that now players can go at it 100%. I mean, I always used to say in the old days, because of the type of drivers, the sweet spot used to be about the size of a dime. You were worried about cracking your favorite wooden persimmon driver, and so players used to go at the ball fairly cautiously. I mean, Nick Faldo, I mean, hey, as great a player as he was, I mean, you know, winning 6 majors, he was never long for being such a big guy.
Right.
And when he learned to play, he learned to sort of control the ball and not hit it offline. So the philosophy's changed somewhat in that regards, where you know you're wanting players to really go at it hard, and so yeah, we've adapted some. I mean, but the basic, I would say, premise that I base my philosophy on, where the bigger muscles control the smaller muscles, is still very much applicable today. But having said that, we do change our philosophy depending on who we're teaching. If we're teaching an older player who doesn't have a lot of flexibility, doesn't play a lot of golf, sure. I mean, you're going to get, you're going to go back to the old Henry Cotton stuff or John Jacobs stuff. Hey, let's get the club swinging. Ernest Jones, swing the club head. I mean, that theory still holds true for so many golfers, just to get the club swinging rather than getting them jerking their bodies to try to hit the ball.
Now, David, set aside the obvious allure of the Laplaya Beach and Golf Club, and with so many great facilities to choose from here in Southwest Florida, why here?
Well, we've been in the Naples area, since 1992, and then when this facility opened up, the thought was the fact, okay, it's attached to a great hotel. I mean, so when people come down here to the Naples area, I mean, what a beautiful area it is. I mean, you've got fabulous beaches, you've got such an unbelievable array of golf courses to choose from, and so to us, it was a perfect match because, yes, you have members here at the Laplaya Golf Club, but the public have access to play here as well, which is great. And so we've got a world-class golf course and world-class condition, and so it gave us easy access. Our previous facility was more of a private club where, you always struggle with that fine line walking between bringing non-members in and having members and so on and so forth. If I was a member of the club, sure, I'd feel the same way. You don't want a lot of maybe non-members being there and using the privileges that you have. So this is wonderful. Obviously the hotel, I mean, what a great little hotel it is. It's
Absolutely.
not so little, but it's this is I mean, one of the premier hotels in the area, and so it's we've always worked on quality. So this was a perfect match for us, being at a great golf course. We've got a really nifty little practice area. It's not huge by any stretch of imagination, but it serves the purpose well, and people can come down, stay at the beach, so families can come down. We obviously work with corporate groups, and so it's this is just a great area to be this time of year.
Now, having said that, what can we expect in the future from David Leadbetter Golf Academies?
Well, we're sort of opening more facilities around the world. A couple more in the States. We've just opened at PGA National.
I did see that in the newsletter.
So we're excited about that. So we're covering that East Coast, and we're continually upgrading the certification of our teachers. That's one of the great things that we have. Really is. What I'm most proud about is over the 25 years is that we've had some great teachers come through us. I mean, some of them are still with us, some of them aren't. But Scott Holden, for instance, who runs this facility here, is the director of instruction here at Laplaya. He's been with us 15 years at least, maybe a little bit longer. So we're continually upgrading their capabilities as teachers. I mean, we've obviously got all sorts of new information coming out about how the body works, how the mind works. We've got more high-tech equipment, but all this is really to help us, to help the average golfer. And obviously we work with tour players. I mean, my reputation was made by working with some of the world's best players. But having said that, our business is really working with the average golfer, the average man, the average lady who, hey, just wants to play a little bit better, have fun playing this great game. And our instructors are trained in all elements of the game, and long game, short game, on the golf course. So it's to me it's a process. I mean, hey, it's a competitive business now. There's a lot of golf schools out there. We're in tough economic times now, so we've got to deliver a quality product. And I really think that we've been known through the years for really bringing to the public a quality instructional product.
Well, if you're looking to improve your game, there's no better place than the David Leadbetter Golf Academies. So go and check one out at your local resort golf club. David, it's been a pleasure having you in here. I hope we can get back and talk to you soon.
Thanks very much,
And
Dale.
we will be coming up to Orlando and seeing your facilities up there as well.
Oh, that's great. We look forward to having you.
Now I'm going to go out and see if one of your instructors can possibly straighten out my swing.
Okay.
All right.
Let's have it.
You
Have
bet.
at it.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, until next time, I'm your host, Dale Schwegel with Tee Off Southwest Florida. Hit 'em straight.